It's going to be a very interesting video. We're going to talk about interview experiences. We're going to talk about interview experiences of Bharath. And so Bharath had a couple of fabulous interview experiences, good ones. He interviews well. There was one interview especially where somebody came out crying and then Bharath went in and nailed his own interview. So I'm going to ask him about how that went. What was your best interview?
So it was in 2013 admit season, if I'm not wrong. It was in Nitie, Mumbai. So Nitie, Mumbai has this thing where everybody has to travel to Mumbai to attend the interviews. They don't conduct the interviews in different cities. So I traveled to Mumbai and we conducted, as in we were sitting through the GD as well. The GD went reasonably well. Everybody was afraid of getting into a fish market GD. It was not a fish market GD. Everybody bonded really well before the GD. So we knew that these are the 10 people who are going to sit along. One among the 10 was the one who went before me into the personal interview, and he came out crying in 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes. Before that, everybody had spent 15 minutes, 20 odd minutes inside the interview panel. This guy came out crying in 3 minutes, and I was the next guy to enter the panel. I was like, shit scared at that point of time. But I went in. I had prepared, I'm a mechanical engineer basically, so I had prepared for strength of materials, engineering, mechanics, basic subjects. I knew that I almost flunked the thermal engineering related subjects. So they started off with a question with something related to thermal engineering. I said, sorry sir, I don't know this.
Actually, important point, those of you preparing for interviews, prepare on your strong suits. And if you're going to submit your records, if you have a horror show in a couple of courses, go out of your way to prepare for that. That will get tested. They want to see you squirm. And sorry for jumping in.
So they did test me on thermal engineering. They started with basic questions. I said, that's not my strong suit. I'm very sorry about it. But then the moment I said that, they were like, okay, what are your subjects of interest? So I told them engineering, mechanics, strength of material and all of that. They told me, okay, what is the table in front of you? What kind of beam is that? How do you strengthen the beam? There are lots of questions properly inside engineering, from engineering things, and I answered all of them. And then they also looked at my resume. They asked, oh, you read this book, you read that author, oh nice. And then we had a 5-minute chat about the authors I read and my opinions, my take on the author and what the professor thought about the author and all of that. It was a pleasant interview after the engineering part was over. I converted that interview.
I think by the time Bharath would have come out of the interview, the guy who was crying would have been in even bad shape. So he comes out crying and then Bharath comes out smiling. And what is the interview you did convert?
I went to IIT Madras in 2015. Sorry, 15 interview, I guess. So IIT Madras interview was a very short interview, like really short. It was 7 minutes long. So I was asked why I quit my core engineering job and why did I join to IIM. And then I was asked about who are the competitors in my industry and what are the numbers that they do in Chennai, online and all of that. So they wanted the candidate to have a bird's eye view of what the industry is and not just on what his role was and all of that. And after that, again, they went on to ask me why did I quit my job from engineering and why did I join to IIM. So it lasted for around 7 minutes. So they kept coming back on, was it a mistake that you joined to IIM?
So any one of you who's working in a small company, don't know just your role, know what the company is doing, have a clear industry analysis. If you're saying, look, I joined a startup to have the experience of working in a startup, then you need to speak like the CEO or the executive assistant to the CEO, the guy who understands industry dynamics and the overall what are the players and what is likely to happen over 5 years, 7 years. So you need to do your background research thoroughly on the industry and not just your job or your role. So especially if you're working in a small company. If you're working in Infosys or Wipro, that's completely different. But if you're in a startup, and if you quit Infosys to join a startup, then you need to stay completely on top of your industry. That's very important.
And thanks to Rajesh, I knew all the numbers about Chennai, overall CAT market, how was the market doing, what are the big players and all of that. So I did okay or better than okay. They did give me a seat. So it was a good experience.
Cheers guys, and best wishes for your own interviews.